I'm Janae Murray, and here on a positive note, we highlight the most heartwarming stories from all around our tri-state that move and inspire us. And I can't believe it's already December. We kicked off this month strong with Hanukkah celebrations all over the tri-state, like the famous annual lighting of the menorah in Grand Army Plaza. Every year, hundreds of people flock there on the first night of Hanukkah to see the largest menorah in Brooklyn. And of course, we'll be closing out the month with Kwanzaa celebrations. Well, Starbucks broke out their holiday cups and Mariah Carey is no longer banned from bar playlists, so it looks like everyone's getting into the holiday spirit this year. Now, I don't know about you, but my favorite part of the season is seeing how people top their decorations and lights from last year. Over in Brooklyn, one neighborhood that's known for extravagant holiday displays is once again wowing anyone who's lucky enough to drive through. We're headed to Dyker Heights to speak to the mastermind of a woman who started it all.
It's the most wonderful time of year when dazzling lights and glimmering decorations light up the Dyker Heights neighborhood, making spectators feel like they're in a winter wonderland.
I always like the driveway, how they decorate it right here with like the snowman and like the nutcrackers and everything.
It's always been fun to come out and enjoy the lights and the season.
Tonight, this 84th Street block is lit up for the 36th year in a row. It's a tradition that Lucy Spada says she started back in the 80s to carry on the tradition started by her late mother in Bensonhurst.
My mother was a decorator, so I followed. I just carried it on over here because nobody decorated here.
The gleaming lights so beautiful, cars slow down to take in the view.
I actually prefer this to going to see the big tree. I think this is it's a little more like kind of chill and I like it. It's fun.
And crowds flock to the street from far and near to get some holiday cheer.
Since during COVID, you know, like with all like the stress and everything, it's just better that, you know, everyone comes together, we can all look at like the lights and it just, you know, brings positive cheer to everyone.
And that brings us into today's Did You Know? Did you know there's a legit way that you can get paid this month without even leaving your couch? Grab the blanket, cookies, and hot cocoa because for $2,500, all you have to do is watch 25 movies in 25 days. Reviews.org needs help deciding what the best Christmas movie ever is, so they're willing to pay $2,500 smackaroonies and give you a free year-long subscription to 7 streaming services including Netflix, Hulu, and Disney+. Now listen, I don't even need all 25 days. The way I binge watch my shows, I mean, just give me 2 days and unlimited snacks and bathroom breaks, and I'm walking out with 2.5 G's. You can head over to news12.com for more information on how you can get in on it too. Speaking of the holidays, a veteran from the Bronx got his gifts a little early this year. He delivered his own daughter. We have his heartwarming story next.
Like most new dads, there's lots to brag about, but for Deshaun Wade, delivering his baby girl is his proudest moment.
My heart was racing, but I was calm.
His wife, Suzanne, was scheduled to be induced on Monday at 6 a.m. that morning, but little Nessa had other plans. Wade says he heard his wife scream his name after her water broke in the bathroom.
I was already in a kneeling position over the tub. He's like, I don't see nothing. I'm like, look, like go in there and look. And then that's when he went and looked and saw that I was crowning.
He says he called his mother, but there was no answer in the wee hours of the morning. He then tried 911. The Bronx veteran says the birth took less than 5 minutes.
The baby head and shoulder was out, and then I had to guide my hand under and actually see the baby through.
He did a really good job. He was so supportive, giving me encouraging words.
Both mom and baby are doing fine. They say the birth of their first child shared some similarities. The couple says their 5-year-old daughter was almost delivered in a hospital bathroom. Big sister Ariane is excited about her new role in the family.
How do you feel about being a big sister?
Good.
Meanwhile, the Bronx dad who served in the armed forces for 8 years says nothing in the Navy quite prepared him for delivering his own child. Something he says he's always dreamt of.
Amazing as I think about it. It was a beautiful experience.
That's definitely a moment he'll never forget for the rest of his life. I can only imagine what that bond between him and his baby girl is going to be like. Now, on to a broken down car in Connecticut that had a lot of you buzzing on social media. Hank the Tank finally found a new home. This old car has been through a lot, but check out how it's getting its new lease on life now.
Lovely cars buzz around the streets of Westport.
Then there's Hank the Tank.
You know, you get attached to things the way that you do to people.
The broken down hatchback sat outside town hall for months.
Letting go of the car is just letting go of a lot of other things too.
The hunk of junk happened to be the Tarola family's treasure.
Congratulations, you are standing next to Hank the Tank.
Dad Doug put a letter in the window sharing the history.
School, play dates, soccer, basketball, gymnastics. Hank the Tank liked going to the beach, concerts, Giants games.
When daughter Charlotte turned 16, Hank was hers.
Every first new adventure was in that car.
Just got the jump box.
Eventually, Hank's engine died.
Pretty much the entire summer, every single day, my mom was like, clean out the car so we can get rid of it. And then I just did not do that. I just didn't want to get rid of it. I need to say goodbye to it.
Collecting dust, getting mocked on social media isn't what a cherished chariot deserves.
Can't stay here forever.
Hank the Tank was filled with too much love to be headed to the junkyard, so his family needed to find him the perfect new home.
Hank had a bigger mission in life than to just be sold for scraps.
On a sunny Thanksgiving Eve,
we had this car since high school. We're having a meeting.
Everyone returned for Hank's last ride.
But it takes someone to come around.
A truck arrived to tow him away for the Westport Fire Department.
We're going to roll it over, we're going to put it on its roof, we're going to crash other cars into it, and the firefighters are going to get a lot of good training.
Sorry.
Now the trusty old sedan that filled so many lives may be responsible for saving one.
That makes me really happy, because then it lives on.
She's a tear in my heart.
Firefighters in New Jersey are getting the hookup too. One fireman took up a new hobby that has his brothers looking good, feeling good, and working hard.
And it started as a hobby. I needed a creative outlet.
7 years ago, Monroe Township firefighter Rob Meyer decided he needed a hobby. So he started watching YouTube videos on leatherworking to make a dog collar for his beloved Doberman Jaeger. Then he started making leather belts, suspenders, and radio straps to use on his job as a firefighter.
All of a sudden I had friends of friends asking me for something, and it turned into a viable business.
Now it's expanded into Ridgeway Leatherworks, a full-blown producer of custom leather gear for first responders. 10,000 items sold and counting.
First thing I noticed is the smell.
See, we don't get that.
The smell of leather, wow.
We don't get that anymore because we're down here.
You don't smell it?
Nope.
Next time you see your local firefighters on the scene or on the streets, look closely at those suspenders and radio straps, and you'll likely see the work of Meyer and his firefighter assistants.
As a fireman, we tend to break things. So I use the moniker that even if you run your own radio strap over with your truck, I'll replace it, I'll repair it, I'll warranty it, it's not a problem. To date, I have about 5 guys that have took me up on it and I've replaced it.
Many of the items are customized with names, logos, and flags, a personal touch, as if having your gear handmade by fellow firefighters wasn't personal enough already.
You're getting hand craftsmanship, you're not getting something that's mass-produced in some type of factory, and you're getting the attention made by firefighters for firefighters and EMTs as well.
Meyer gets help in the shop from other firefighter friends. There's Chris LeLong, he was the best man at Meyer's wedding, and Brian Olson, a Bayonne firefighter. Meyer will soon be the best man at his wedding. The camaraderie of the firehouse alive and well in the workshop, too. Oh, and the dog on the logo, that's Jaeger, who started it all.
If you live in Wilton, Connecticut, you may have noticed something different about the police department there. I mean, none of the officers have hair. The department is rallying support around one of its bravest as she fights a very personal battle. Let's take a look.
You've heard the phrase brothers and sisters in blue.
This is our second family.
It's something that has a deep meaning to the men and women of the Wilton Police Department.
What a brother and sisterhood we are.
Officer Elise Ackerman knows how important that bond is. The 36-year-old was recently diagnosed with breast cancer.
It is aggressive and invasive, so I started chemo immediately.
Ackerman says she chose to shave her head as soon as her hair started to fall out.
It was just too surreal for me, and you wouldn't think of it, but kind of traumatic.
But since last week, she's not the only one at work without hair.
I was approached by several of the officers who requested to shave their heads to show our solidarity and support.
They're looking ready.
Lieutenant David Hartman was the first to lose his hair at the head shaving event Thursday, with Ackerman doing the honors.
Every time I think of it, it brings a happy tear to my eye.
You're giving out free smiles with this haircut.
More than 20 members of the police department, fire department, and Department of Public Works shaved their heads.
Not sitting back down. I hope that she realizes that she's not alone in this fight, that we're here for her, that we have her back, and that she's not going to go through this alone, that we're going to be there right by her side the entire time.
Hartman has also started a fundraising campaign to help the mom of 3 and her family. Plus, he's organizing a charity banquet in her honor.
My heart's just overwhelmed right now. I mean, the love and support for not only me, but for my family during this difficult time is more than I could ever ask for, and I don't even know how I could ever repay him for everything.
They say blood isn't always what makes us family. Ackerman's been with the Wilton Police for 7 years and a school resource officer for the past 2. Clearly, in that time, she's gained way more than just a team. I mean, that's love.